What's going on? Left the gym. And I'm thinking about, I'm just kind of contemplating my general strategy, how I'm going to go about my online presence, double checking I'm not missing something or making some egregious error, just exploring and being curious. And one of the questions that rose in my mind is, why the fuck am I so motivated to do this? It's not going to be my primary source of income. Maybe one day it nets me, somewhere between 5 and 10K a month. If it gets big, that's fucking peanuts compared to, if you understand scalable business models and leverage, that's fucking peanut money. That's barely not poor, especially in an inflated economy like ours. So, anyways, and I'm like, why am I motivated to do this? Where are my motivations coming from? And I realize it's because I see a problem and I want to make a difference. And as well as I love connecting with people that are like-minded to myself. I'm hoping, my future wife is reading these videos and is fucking impressed. And then I slide in her DMs and, the rest plays out. So there's some motivations. But it's like, how did I give a shit? Where did I pick up these urges to give a shit? Well, obviously, companionship, marriage, children is kind of inherent. But why the fuck do I give a shit about a bunch of random people getting these wacky abstract ideas? And I've realized that what motivates people can be separated into two categories. There's ones that are just inherent parts of your being, and then there's ones that you can acquire. So I'll touch briefly on the inherent ones, because it's just based around personality and basically cognitive capacity. But so the inherent ones: how creative are you? Your ability to create. This is a Jordan Peterson classic. It's recent too. Do you have the ability to synthesize and generate? Basically, is your IQ over 135? That's pretty much it, in most cases. Or is your aptitude in the above average category, that you can put things together on your own? The other thing is other personality traits like altruism and generosity, and the need for philanthropy, the need for self-entertainment, boredom, ambition, the need for achievement, stuff like that. That's inherent and also acquired. But okay, so the topic I want to focus on, though, are the ones that you truly acquire, the ones that you actually want to truly acquire. And I'm thinking about what motivates me to do all the things that I'm doing, and I'm remembering more or less that I actually brainwashed myself. I hacked my own brain to be motivated to do certain things. I started reading about, I was just as lost as your average millennial. I always had a rebellious spirit and kind of saw through the bullshit, but I was still pretty I didn't have a mission or anything up until roughly age 20. I started to read about what, people were saying, to lead a more fulfilling life, and, these things matter, and look at all these rewards that are on the other side of hard work and smart work. And I bought it immediately. I was like, holy shit. And then I also immediately realized that I'm fucking lazy and I'm not motivated. But somehow I just knew, if I just keep shoving this shit down my throat, that if I just continue to internalize, the desire for more, the desire for a better life, the desire to help people, if I just cultivate this continually, I will naturally develop motivation. If I internalize these ambitions and these dreams to be deeper into my being and to be bigger in my psychology, then then natural motivation will manifest, because it will be at that deeper layer, that emotional layer, and then I will become naturally motivated. That was my hypothesis. I experimented with it and it fucking worked. I filled my social media feeds up with like anything that I felt gave a good justification for working harder, working smarter, wanting more, doing better, being better, helping more people, whatever the fuck I liked. I just kept pouring it down, and I would deliberately like meditate on it in that moment. Every time I would read something like that, I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want that. I want this, is great. Yeah, I can't wait. And just constantly visualizing and imagining, the rewards and imagining how I'll feel when I have these things. And then I get down the path and I start to get the reward of doing the work, and it starts gaining momentum. And, I just continue to explore philosophically, explore what's important to me, explore the kind of goals that I want to achieve. And I'm just motivated as fuck. I'm passionate as fuck. My heart is so full. I'm so excited about what I'm doing that it's the most fulfilling thing. Just sharing videos and sharing good information, doing my part, whatever the fuck it might be worth, being a vanguard for truth and for good, and for doing my part and giving society a bit of fucking spine and a little bit of intellect too. It feels fucking great because I took the time to investigate, what is the world I inhabit really fucking worth? Does it mean anything to me? Do I give a fuck about it? And after exploring everything from absolute nihilistic cynicism, atheism, to the most Disney movie, religious, spiritual, destiny, we are infinitely valuable godlike beings. I made it through that whole spectrum. I explored all that shit, and it's a resounding fucking yes. It's important to me, and I enjoy this process. When I investigate my own psychology on how I'm on how I feel, what are the individual pieces of my psychology and my motivations. And some of it's inherent. I'm a very generous person. I'm passionate about helping people. I feel really great when I help people. I like to teach. I like to share knowledge. So there's a lot of it's inherent, but a lot of it again is brainwashed. So with you, what do you want? Do you even know what you want before you even try to empower and embolden yourself to take action? Do you know what actions to take? Have you done the due diligence? If you there's a quote, there's a cliche that it's kind of a cliche in the self-improvement community. If you don't know what your mission is to find out what your mission is. So the first step is, you, the listener, do you fucking know what you want? And do you know why you want it? Have you really investigated and dug deep into why the fuck you're doing what you're doing? Do you really want what you want? Because a lot of people, they just chug along, do what they're told, and don't bother to think about it because it's too scary, or they can't, or whatever. Because if you just do that, and then you get 5 years down the line, 10 years, 20 years down the line, you realize, I don't fucking want this at all. How are you gonna feel? So do the due diligence, take your time. Most people, and it sucks. It fucking sucks because you stay in the student phase longer, and you stay a loser longer, more or less. Basically you spend more time studying. Like you're the non-literal equivalent of a broke college student for longer, because you spend more time studying, right? But it's absolutely necessary. You want to make sure that you're not 5 degrees off, so when you travel 100 miles, instead of landing in New York, you land in DC. I think it's like a 3 degrees difference or something like that. If you go from LA to New York, if you're 3 degrees south, you end up in DC instead, or something fucking crazy like that. 3 degrees, that's imperceptible to in front of your nose or in front of your feet. So figure out what you want. But the real main topic, the big lesson, this is one of the most important things, one of the best gifts that I've given to myself, one of the best seeds that I've planted in my own garden, is cultivating my own psycho-emotional complex of motivations, figuring out why the fuck I want it, and meditating on that visceral gut emotion. It's like, it means something to me. I subscribe meaning to it. I subscribe emotion. I cultivate my passions, and I am just abundant with ambition as a result. There's other factors that play into it too, you know, hormonal health, psychological health, neurological health, overall vitality and health levels. You know, do you have a future that you're looking forward to currently, which kind of ties into, you know, figuring out what you want and all that. But by cultivating and rearranging that core, that innermost being part of you, when you do have shit health, when you don't have a future that you're looking forward to, when when shit's bad and you're struggling and you're crawling, or you can't move forward, or you keep falling back, that inner fire, that inner light is what will get you through. It's what got me through. I talk about the hardships I've suffered, which they ain't shit, but they're hard. They were hard for me at the time. My little hardships could have easily caused me to give up, but I had been fortunate enough to cultivate my motivations that I realized it was worth it to figure this out, to power through, to not give up. I knew there was something good on the other side. Sometimes it seemed hopeless, and I thought, I will never get what I want, but for some reason I just fucking kept going. I was like, what else am I gonna do? You know? So luckily I get bored easily, so out of sheer boredom I just kept struggling, I guess. I don't know. But this, you know, I made a tweet today. It said, I'm going to start a series called Skin in the Game, and it's going to be about things that I've actually fucking done that worked for me. Like things that I'm actually invested in. Not just, you know, frilly-nilly fucking hypothetical shit that doesn't actually, that I have no bets on, doesn't affect my life. I can just post a tweet with no consequences, and if I fuck someone's life up, then I don't even know about it. Which we all do that, but we're all reckless with our writing on Twitter. But I want, when it comes to the series of Skin in the Game, it's either something, I'm pretty much, because I know by now, no matter how certain I am something is true before I've tried it, I might end up being wrong. So I think I need to just grow the fuck up about it. And if it's going to be Skin in the Game series, it's because I've fucking done it and it worked and it paid off for me, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to show you the fucking results. So just read the motivational accounts, the ones that relate to you, have high standards, but also don't be afraid to pile it on. You'll find your balance. Explore with it. You know, be intelligent, feel your way through, use your intuition. It's like psychological operations, psyopsing yourself is an intuitive game. So just use your gut, feel your way through it, but then do some secondary logical processing to kind of fact check yourself. Make sure you're not, you know, I feel like this is good, but your feelings are wrong. So nothing new. Process intuitively, check with logic. That is the way. But cultivate your motivations, and you will naturally activate your psychophysiological motivational systems. You will naturally, on a fucking literal hormonal level, get more testosterone, more adrenaline. Your nervous system will perk up, you get a little bit more dopamine going, because your body's convinced now, if we're doing something good, your neurons are going to pay attention. All your different systems that accompany your human experience will accommodate that. That's why emotions are so important. Your emotions are the language your body understands far more than your logical thoughts. So cultivate your fucking emotions. But that starts with logical understanding. Read the shit, or talk it out. Whatever the fuck you got to do, whatever your style is. Read the shit, process it logically, check it. Logic and intuition is interchangeable order, but look at it, check it. This is good, like it, feel it, meditate on it, cultivate it. Put it somewhere. Little post-it note, little fucking put it in your pocket, whatever. Cultivate that shit. It's awesome. Go for it.